There are no laws in a lucid dream, no police, no consequences, no one real to hurt. Once you understand that you're dreaming and that everything around you is a projection of your own mind, a very uncomfortable question shows up, whether you want it to or not. If nothing here is real and nothing I do here can hurt anyone, then what am I actually capable of? Most lucid dreamers feel that question brush past them and they look away from it. For 10 years, I looked away too. And then one night I didn't. I decided to find out what happens when you stop being the hero of your dream and become the thing you'd never let yourself be awake. I'm telling you now, it did not go the way I expected. The dream had an opinion about what I did, and so did I. Let me back up and explain why anyone would even do this, because I don't want you to think I went to sleep excited to be a monster. It started with a thought I couldn't shake. In waking life, the reason most of us don't do terrible things isn't only morality, it's fear. Fear of getting caught, fear of hurting someone real, fear of living with it. Strip all of that away, put a person in a world with zero consequences, and what's left? Is it still a good person, or is the goodness just a cage we built because we had to? I'm not a philosopher, but a lucid dream is the only place on Earth where you can actually run that experiment. A world that feels completely real, where nothing you do touches a single real being. So I decided to run it on myself. I want to be clear about something before I go further. The dream characters in a lucid dream are not real people. They are generated by your mind, like faces in a crowd that your brain paints in without you choosing them. Knowing that was the whole point. If they're not real, hurting one shouldn't mean anything. That was my theory going in. Hold on to that word. Theory. So the first night I tried this, I got lucid in a setting that was perfect for it. A city street at night, rain on the pavement, that orange streetlight glow, completely empty except for a few dream characters walking around with no faces I recognized. The kind of place where, in a movie, something bad is about to happen. I did my reality check, looked at my hands, the fingers were wrong, and I confirmed I was dreaming. And then I stood there on that street and I made a decision I had never made before. Instead of flying, instead of doing something fun, I was going to cross a line. I'm not going to narrate the specifics, both because YouTube would not love it and because, honestly, the specifics aren't the interesting part. What's interesting is what I felt and what the dream did. So let me tell you about that instead. I approached one of the dream characters, a man, middle-aged, standing near a closed shop like he was waiting for a bus that would never come. And as I got closer with bad intentions for the first time in my life, even a dream life, I noticed my heart was pounding. Real heart in a real bed, miles away, hammering. That alone surprised me. My body knew something my logic was trying to argue with. The logic said, this isn't a person, this is a hallucination wearing a coat. The body said, you're about to do something terribly wrong. I did it anyway. I'm keeping it vague on purpose. Cross the line I'd set for myself, and here's the first thing nobody warns you about. The dream character reacted. Not like a video game NPC running a script. He looked at me. Right before, in that last second, he looked directly at me with an expression of total human confusion and fear, the face of someone who does not understand why this is happening to them. And then the dream did something I've never had it do. It didn't let me wake up, and it didn't move on. It held me there in the aftermath, in the silence of that wet, empty street, with what I'd done. By the way, if you've ever done something in a dream that you woke up feeling genuinely guilty about, something that stuck to you even though you knew it wasn't real, tell me in the comments. I need to know how common this is, because what happened next made me feel completely alone with it. The guilt hit me while I was still in the dream, and it wasn't small. It was the real thing. The same heavy, sick feeling you'd get if you'd actually hurt someone, flooding through me on a street I knew didn't exist, over a person I knew my own brain had invented 30 seconds earlier. I remember standing there thinking, this isn't possible. I designed this experiment specifically because none of this is real. Why does it feel exactly as real as if it were? That's when the rest of the street changed. The other dream characters, the ones who'd been walking around aimlessly, all stopped. And slowly, one by one, they turned to face me. Not running at me, not attacking, just looking. A A street full of strangers my mind had created, all silently staring at the thing I'd just done. I've been lucid dreaming for 10 years, and I've never wanted to wake up so badly in my life. I closed my eyes inside the dream and forced myself out, and I sat up in bed at 4 a.m. with my heart slamming and my hands shaking, and I did not feel like I'd gotten away with anything. I felt like I'd learned something about myself I couldn't unlearn. So let me give you the 2 ways to understand what happened, because this is where it gets genuinely fascinating. The rational explanation, and it's a powerful one. Your moral instincts are not stored in your logic. They're deeper, older, baked into the emotional core of your brain. When I told myself the dream character wasn't real, that was my conscious mind talking, the newest, thinnest layer. But the part of your brain that generates guilt and empathy doesn't check whether something is real before it reacts. It responds to the experience itself. To that brain, I had just watched a human face look at me in fear, and I had crossed a line, and it did not care one bit that I'd logically labeled the whole thing fake. The guilt was real because to the oldest part of me, the act was real, which means something kind of beautiful and disturbing at once. Your conscience cannot be turned off by an excuse, even a perfect one. And the dream characters turning to face me, that's my own subconscious. It built that street, it built those people, and on some level, it disagreed with what my conscious mind decided to do, so it staged the consequence I refused to give myself. The dream became my conscience wearing the faces of strangers. That's the rational version, and I mostly believe it. But here's the part that the rational version doesn't fully cover. I went in believing dream characters are empty, hallucinations, faces with nothing behind them, and maybe they are, but that man looked at me in a way that empty things don't look at you. There's an ongoing question in dream research that nobody has answered about whether the characters in our dreams have any form of their own awareness, some flicker of the mind that generates them. I don't have a position on that, I'm not qualified to. All I can tell you is that I went into that dream certain there was no one home behind those eyes, and I came out of it unable to say that with the same confidence, and I haven't been able to since. So should you try this? No, and not for the reason you'd expect, not because it's dangerous to the dream. There's nothing in there to actually harm. Don't do it because of what it does to you. You can't hurt a dream character, but you can absolutely show yourself something about what's underneath your own control, and you don't get to choose whether you're ready to see it. I wanted to know what I was capable of with no consequences. I found out that the consequences were never really external. They were always inside me, waiting, and the dream just handed me a mirror. Keep coming back to that street, the faces turning toward me, and it's made me wonder about the opposite experiment, what the dream does when you go in not to take something but to face something. Next video, I'm going back in to confront the worst thing I've ever done in real life, the actual memory, and see if a lucid dream can do something with it that 10 years of being awake never could. If you want to see how that goes, subscribe. Close your eyes. Stay awake.